You have been nodding along in conversations today. You are agreeing to terms you have not even fully processed. You do this just to keep the peace. You tell yourself this is simply what it means to be professional. You convince yourself that swallowing your actual needs is the price of admission. You think this is how you get taken seriously. But the current planetary architecture is actively punishing this specific lie. The intuitive moon has entered your sign. It is anchoring your first house of identity. Simultaneously, it is forming a hard square to Venus in your 10th house of public reputation. If you continue to prioritize a polished presentation over your raw truth, you will quietly bankrupt your own emotional boundaries. The cosmos is demanding that you stop performing competence. You must start embodying it. Take a slow breath right now. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. We need to address the financial and relational entanglements this transit is about to expose. This specific square between the Moon and Venus is not just making you feel tired. It is creating a profound dissonance. You feel pulled between who you are in private and who you are forced to be in public. You may feel torn between maintaining your usual stoic facade and admitting that you are actually overwhelmed. When someone asks you a direct question about your capacity today, your instinct will be to answer too coolly. Admitting uncertainty feels incredibly risky when people are looking to you for stability. You might notice a tightness in your throat when you try to speak your truth. You might find yourself rehearsing conversations in the shower. This is the square demanding your attention. It wants you to integrate your private feelings with your public actions. But here is what the Vedic chart exposes about this exact moment. This transit is a trap if you play along. You do not owe anyone a polished answer on demand. If a relationship or financial question comes up in public, you must ask to continue the conversation privately. Someone who genuinely cares about your well-being will wait. They will wait until you are speaking for yourself, not for the room. But resolving this public tension is only the first layer. The real threat lies in the financial entanglements this energy is stirring up. If you are already involved with a partner or a relative financially, the current transits require you to give them significantly more time and energy. This applies even if you are just naming them in your will. You stand to gain or save a substantial amount of resources. However, this only happens if you combine strict bean counting with near telepathic sensitivity. Financial mind reading is absolutely required today. Think about the last time you avoided a difficult conversation about money because it felt too heavy. The current transits are bringing that exact avoided conversation to the surface. You cannot bypass it this time. You must sit down, open the spreadsheets, and look your partner or relative in the eye. The sensitivity you bring to this interaction will transform a potential conflict into a profound bonding experience. Clear communication is your only way forward. This brings us to your physical movement and productivity. The moon entering your sign marks the start of a highly productive period. But it demands strategic pacing. You will likely spend a large portion of your time managing business logistics. You may be planning an upcoming trip. You need to map out every single detail to ensure success. However, do not attempt to force momentum all day. Schedule your most critical meetings and high-stakes events strictly between 4 in the afternoon and 6:15 in the evening. Use that specific window to execute your plans with absolute precision. Before that window opens, you must protect your nervous system. And protecting your nervous system is exactly what leads us to the most critical conversation of your day. This conversation involves the person you are trying to love while simultaneously trying to impress. Capricorn. You carry a very specific romantic wound. You believe that if you show your cracks, you will be deemed unlovable. You believe you will be seen as incompetent. You have spent years building a fortress of reliability. You convinced yourself that being the strong one is the only way to secure lasting devotion. You have carried the weight of everyone else's expectations for so long. You have been the rock for your family, the anchor for your friends. But rocks erode. Anchors drag. You are allowed to be held today. You are allowed to admit that the water is a little too deep right now. The moon in your house of first impressions is actively dismantling this defense mechanism. Today, the planetary frequency is nudging you to share your breakdowns right alongside your breakthroughs. If you are in a committed relationship, your partner does not need another version of you that has it all figured out. Love needs more passion right now. Passion cannot exist in a sterile environment of perfect composure. You must introduce a little excitement and raw honesty into your dynamic. If you are single, this energy invites you to enjoy the simple, unpolished act of flirting. Do this without calculating the outcome. Here is the massive psychological reframe you need to internalize today. What you have always interpreted as rejection when you showed vulnerability was actually cosmic protection. The people who walked away when you dropped your guard were not your destiny. They were simply incompatible with your depth. The person who is moving toward you right now is not looking for a flawless project manager. They are looking for a human being. They want the messy, beautiful reality of your internal world. Think about the specific moment you decided to hide your true feelings from them. You probably thought you were protecting them. You thought you were being strong. But true strength is looking at the person you love and saying you are struggling. That is the frequency that attracts deep, faded romance. That is the energy that makes someone look at you and realize they have found their home. When you honestly tell your story with passion and hope, it bypasses superficial filters. It has nothing to do with how many people you are impressing. It is about reaching the specific frequency of the people who actually need to hear your truth. If you are willing to be vulnerable today, the cosmos promises a remarkably friendly reception. You will be met with the exact type of understanding you have been starving for. But do not think this emotional breakthrough happens in isolation. This shift in your personal authenticity is going to directly impact your career trajectory. When you stop overpromising and start stating your aims plainly, your professional reputation will actually solidify. People respect integrity far more than they respect a flawless illusion. Pick the next step that shows absolute integrity. Keep your actions steady. Let your authenticity lead the way in the boardroom. You will find that the respect you crave follows naturally. But to sustain this level of emotional and professional honesty, you must address your physical baseline. Your energy and mood may feel noticeably lower than usual today. This is not a personal failure. It is the biological cost of holding up a social mask for too long. Give yourself permission to take some quiet time to recharge. Do not ignore any nerve-related health concerns or physical tension that arises. Your body is keeping the score of every time you swallowed your true feelings. You need to add a little excitement to your routine to break the stagnation. Do this even through the food you choose to eat today. Seek out rich, grounding flavors that bring you immediate sensory pleasure. Pay close attention to your physical body between noon and 3 in the afternoon. You might feel a sudden urge to isolate. Resist the urge to completely shut down. Instead, step outside. Feel the air on your skin. Let the physical environment regulate your nervous system. When you sit down to eat, do not look at your phone. Just taste your food. Let the simple act of nourishment remind you that you are safe. Wear dark blue today. This is your lucky color. It will help ground your scattered mental energy into a focused, authoritative presence. Connect deeply with a coworker who understands your unspoken language. Put in the extra effort at work, but do it from a place of grounded passion. And when the day is done, start dreaming about a trip to Cuba. Let your mind wander to the warmth and the absolute freedom of that destination. It will pull your spirit out of the heavy density you have been carrying. We are coming back to the very beginning of this reading. You no longer have to nod along and agree to terms that drain you. You no longer have to perform competence at the expense of your own peace. The planetary architecture has shifted to support your raw, unfiltered truth. The financial entanglements will resolve when you combine clear communication with deep sensitivity. The public questions will lose their power the moment you demand private conversations. You are deeply seen. You are entirely worthy of a love that does not require you to shrink your complexity. The person who is meant for you is not intimidated by your depth. They are drawn to it. They are waiting for you to put down the armor. If you are ready to stop performing and start living in your authentic frequency, take action right now. Type the word claim in the comments below to seal this energy. Declare your commitment to your own truth. Let the cosmos know you are ready to receive the love and clarity that is finally yours. You have done the hard work. Now, simply allow yourself to be held by it.